Hey everyone, I recently faced a streamer who was not only entitled and wanted me to play the game his way, but actually reported me after the match. Now I'm sure he had a good reason for doing so. Maybe you can all figure it out. Give me your best guess as to why he reported me before we start, then please join me in watching the game to see if you're right. Oh no. I've received word that survivors are trying to have the rulebook written into law. This cannot stand, and every sub to my channel equals one vote against them. Please subscribe so that we may prevent the reign of entitlement. Thank you. I'm gonna do something a little bit different today and narrate the entire video. When I went through the footage, my friends were talking about RuneScape, and it's all on one audio track, so I can't edit them out. Let me know how you guys like the full narration compared to including live audio clips. And let's get started. As I stomped through the valley of the shadow of death, the first person I encountered was Nancy. She literally hits my fist with her face, and I gotta wonder what the risk-reward ratio for that move was. I guess she was camping pallet to drop on me and messed up? Anyway, we do a little dance, and I do a crazy mind game, which results in a pallet getting dropped on my dome. A hunk of wood is nothing for the ultimate bioweapon, so I break it, then kick the gym for some aura reading, with nowhere to hide. Nancy is, for some reason, still nearby. My guess is she was camping the pallet to loop me around, but honestly, I think she should have booked the nearest trip to Mexico to deny the bit of pressure I have on her. Full disclosure, this game is from when I was still new at Nini, so there's probably going to be some awful shots. Yeah, there's the pallet. Man, those things hurt, not gonna lie. Not sure why I checked this gen. It's kind of a blunder, but I'm also not sure why Nancy keeps staying so close. She's had plenty of time to just get lost. Guess she thinks every pallet is a god pallet, and she's safe as long as she has one? Unfortunately for her, that's just simply not the case. I finally get it down on Nancy, and since there's a Scourge so close by, it's the obvious choice, giving me my first hook state and 20% off their most repaired gen. I stay local because the hook's pretty close to a 4 gen, and it's not long before a save comes through. Treppy stops by, and to be fair didn't slam his face into my fist like Nancy, though the hit was just as free. But he does drop a pallet before I can gain any distance on him. I beat his wood like I'd beat my own, and seeing that Nancy's been healed, and movement in the distance, I make my way back to the hook. I'd much rather bother 2 people near my 3 gen, instead of 1 that isn't. There's scratches I could follow, but they're shack side, and I'm not ready to deal with that, so I follow the others that lead me to whatever this towel is. Well, Nancy. It seems we meet again, but your ingenious use of life isn't going to save you from Tom and Jerry. While I take the time to smell my fingers, Nancy is booking at the shack, but I've got her scent, and I want that second hook state. If you think the mind game earlier was crazy, just check this one out. I mean, if I don't even know what I'm doing, how can she hope to?
Collect wood.
We're not talking about that. While I was on Minecraft, Nancy was camping shack pallet, and pre-drops it like a twisted fucking psychopath. I think she forgot that I could slap her from across the map, but it's an easy infection, and shack pallet, so if she's cool with it, I'm cool with it. We do a little do-si-do around shack, but she plays it pretty straight and I get my second down on her, which I just honestly had no business getting this quickly. No complaints though, because now I can plop her even closer to my 3 gen, which means I get to start a fire, get out the marshmallows, and set up my cute little tent. After some light patrolling around my Nancy, I spot Fing Min. She wants to get the unhook, and after my diabolical mistech gives Fing a confidence boost, she runs back, only to eat a knuckle sandwich. Knowing Fing can't even trade anymore, I sit between her and the hook, careful not to fill up Nancy's resolve meter for a soft unhook by being too close. My early survivor detection system picks up some bogeys heading to the hook, so I leave Fing to check who it is. Michaela runs up for a fat fisting while Treffy watches, meaning nobody's on gens. I turn back to the hook to check for Fing when old boy runs up for a fisting of his own. He actually manages to unhook Nancy, who promptly trades me her base kit borrowed time for the person that isn't on death hook. There's not a whole lot of places for her to run, so she tries to play around a pallet which, if you've been paying attention to the trend, isn't going to go well for her. She drops the pallet, then I drop her, leveling my tentacle to tier 2. Oh, when impaled by my whip and my palm hits your lips, that's amore. When I stomp on your head and you are finally dead, that's amore. After patrolling my gens, I had the choice between Trabajo and Fungumenu, and chose Fing because she's heading towards a palletless shack. Once she's there, I get an easy whip hit and she uses the window to go to... The area she's going to is pretty palletless thanks to Nancy's addiction to dropping them, so Fing's got quite the journey to an actual tile that she can play. The one thing on her side is I suck with landing whips. When this was recorded, I didn't even know you could drag it like the cigarettes my dad used to put out on my arm. Hey, look, we got a hit! and she's running to this tile I still don't know the name of. Someone blows main gen, but I will not be distracted. At this point, Fing's gotta go down. The others are in safer areas, and she's the only one that's injured. Sure, there's still 3 gens, but games can turn around quicker than you think. Childhood trauma and bad aim buy her some time, but I do finally put her down with a punch to the temple. Turns out Treppy was local the whole time, but not close enough to flashbang save as intended. He runs in tandem with me towards my scourge hook, and makes a last-ditch effort to save Fing with a flashbang. But I have eyes, and ears, and fists, so one field bang and a concussion later, Treppy takes his leave as I secure my second scourge hook and first hook on Fing. As I'm using my pop on main gen, I hear the unhook come through, so I make my way back to treffing. I could choose Michaela, who's already got distance on me in an untouched area, or I can go for the 2 injured people that are probably healing. I'm sure you all know I'm obviously picking the Fing. I get some pretty insane unforeseen value as I'm able to sneak right up to them completely, well, unforeseen. They can't quite finish healing Fing, and she doesn't even try to dodge, giving me the down and some easy progress towards tier 3 tentacle. If Michaela's on gen, I can chase Treffy, and if Michaela's going to heal Fing, I can chase Treffy. Now to be honest, I've landed 1,000 hits just like these, but he makes the vault, so I'm guessing ping diffy? Anyway, I chase him through main for a bit, and then run into Michaela on my way out. She seduces me into a brief chase, but I overcome my baser instincts, realizing I have no time for women. Only slugs. Mickey, unable to handle the rejection, follows me across the map, and I'm sorry, but I'm just not ready for a relationship, so I pop her one and she gets the message. Trevin should change his name to Tom the way he was peepin', but he politely makes way for my second hook on Fing. This little rugrat may not have wanted the smoke after watching my Michaela manhandling, but I'm not about to leave any witnesses. I honestly shouldn't be leaving the Fing with her on death hook, but there's 3 gens left and I'm feeling pretty confident, so I let him lead me to Lieutenant Wall. My lack of practice is showing, but I make up for it with a devious mind game, only to lose my quarry seconds later because I'm blind. On the bright side, he's deaf and refuses to watch where he's going, which lets me catch him around the corner. He's been a thorn in my side all game, so let's get this critter on a hook. Thanks to my Zambi, I find Michaela and Fing healing on a hill. After speed blitzing the Fing for the first tag on her, she tries to play the hill for some reason, instead of making it to anything loopable. Not too sure what the plan here is, but I'm happy to take the down. While Fing was slugged, Michaela unhooked the Belmont. I arrive and don't see him, so Michaela's on the menu instead. I'm gonna level with you guys. I suck at TLs on any killer. I know you're supposed to run them into the center, and you go counterclockwise or clockwise, I don't remember. I try to watch looping guides and I just zone out. Does anyone else's eyes glaze over when they try to learn to loop? Anyway, after a few of my signature mind games, I do manage to down Michaela. Not that I need one at this point, but there's a Scourge right next to me, and up she goes.
Oi, 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 what's all this then, eh? You're catch you lovebird snogging?
Seems like a waste of perfectly good healing for Fing to slam her face into my fist, but I can't complain. Guess she's in a hurry to find her dead girlfriend, cause she's heading to a dead space. No pallets, no windows, no nothing, and down she goes again. I see old Treffy heading to Michaela's hook, and I leave my little slug to stop them from healing, and hopefully end the game. I don't have an angle to get a real hit, so I make sure to hit with the whip for tier 3, and then an infection on Michaela. She gives me her lithe and uses it to... courage in nowhere, I guess. Her best bet would have been to go to main since nothing there's really been used, but I'm guessing her Swift didn't tell her about Nancy's pallet addiction. Now she does make it to the one pallet Nancy didn't drop on the side of the map, but she immediately drops it, and I down her as Fing is picked up for the final time this match. Failing to find Trevor and Fing in a reasonable time frame, I just break the pallet and pick up Michaela to hook her. The other 2 were healing this whole time, and now Treffy is going for the save. There's really nowhere for him to loot me, so now's the perfect time to infect him. Another classic Zan fumble. When they're that close, just go for the M1 guys. Trust me, I've done the research. Fing reveals her location with a vaccine, and I don't like all the social distance between us, so I mosey on over. Probably should have stayed near my hook in case of any save attempts, but Michaela kills herself on hook, so let's just say I knew she'd do that. I start chasing Fing, but she's just not that into me, and runs to Treffy to bail her out. That's just an easy 2-for-1 deal, so I reinfect Fing and give my boy another concussion, which makes him malfunction and start bagging 2 feet away from me. I give him a courtesy factory reset, before hunting down Fing, who revealed herself with a fastball for some reason. When I find her, she's jumping from the 2nd floor and pow! Right in the kisser. Fing and I have a short little chase, and I do mean short, before she gets to a pallet and starts camping it the same way I camp hooks. Too bad for her, I'm Nemesis, so it doesn't really help, and down she goes. I break the pallet and... Okay. Stop me if you've heard this before. I leave Fing on the ground, again, to go find the vampire slaying slug I left on the ground earlier. I just have to find Streamer Man, then go pick up Fang, and that's Unbreakable. Okay guys, I really didn't like that, so I go ahead and plop her on a hook just to be safe, then get back to my slug search. You guys know me, I'm really bad at finding slugs. If I leave them on the ground for 5 seconds, I'll forget where they are, even if they don't move. After almost a full slug bar of searching, I finally find the little rascal and deliver him to the nearest hook to join his friends. Now, before we get into the post-game chat, I'd like to ask you all, did I do anything wrong this match? Was I a big poopy head jerk, or did I just play some DBD? Let's see what the streamer has to say when I drop in with a friendly GG GL next in his chat.
Oh, there's the fella. Hey, you get to see this. Did I have fun? Oh. Good match though.
Can someone tell me why his first move was to report me for something that I didn't even do, and isn't against the rules anyway? Or maybe why his second move was to block me? What kind of terminally on DBD loser do you have to be to use a report system like this? He really hit me with the, tunneling is unethical. Sorry, but the Survivor rulebook doesn't mean shit in these savage McMillan streets. I honestly didn't even notice a report because I was busy talking to the other loser in in-game chat after I dropped my GG to the streamer. After going back to his chat and having missed the report, I respond to the same idiot from in-game who asked me how it was a good game. So I tell her they put up a good fight, they were on hooks, and had a good flashbang attempt. I gave them props, but Mr. Shimmerman types to me, "Not to survivors, it was boring." If the report wasn't enough, I think this solidifies the type of person we're dealing with. Though, to his credit, he's polite enough to let his friend talk to her chat while we're having our discussion, instead of talking over her to make his points. My reply to him is that it's not my job to make the game fun for them, and I doubt that they care about my fun. I've been back at DBD for a good 3 or 4 months on and off, and trust me when I tell you survivors do not care about the killer's fun. They're playing to beat you, to annoy you, or just to amuse themselves, and in none of those cases does concern for your fun ever cross their mind. They don't even care about each other's fun unless they're a Swift. This guy's actually a perfect example. He never runs perks. Does anyone here think he cares that he's disadvantaging every team he's on just so he can have more of his own fun? Do the people running No Mither Boil Over care that they're making the rest of their team do more of the boring part of the game just so they can lay there at the top of a building? No, and trust me on this, I had a game where 2 people did exactly that. Hell, look no further than the great DC epidemic. So to all my killers out there, do not cater to them. They don't even cater to each other. Play for yourself and do whatever makes you happy. Within reason. After telling Mr. Streamer I was under no obligation to play for his fun, he banned me. Which is fair. His channel, his rules. He can do what he wants. Honestly, it's about the smartest thing he could have done. He hit me with a report and banned me from his chat, so I guess he won. GG to him. I just wanted to cover the streamer because he actually reported me over nothing bannable, even while bagging me throughout the entire match. Imagine if killers were soft enough to report every bag boy we went against. Anyway, what do you all think? Is he beating the entitled allegations? Also, I gotta ask, what is it about being a streamer that makes other streamers want to talk shit? Is this a DBD thing, or what's going on? I hope you all enjoyed the video. Remember to leave a like if you did, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Also, follow me on Twitch and Twitter, or I'm gonna come slug you. I am serious. I'll catch you all in the next one. Later.